Imagine waking up one morning and hearing this news. The government of India is ready to give people up to 50 lakh rupees just to raise donkeys. Yes, donkeys. Not cows, not dairy farms, not the tech startups, but donkeys. At first, it sounds almost unbelievable, like something that belongs in a meme or a joke on the social media. But this strange announcement is actually connected to the serious and surprising crisis that is unfolding quietly across the country. Because in just a little over a decade, India has lost nearly 60% of its donkeys. And that disappearance is not just about animals. It's actually telling us a bigger story about how India's economy, labor systems, and rural life are changing. For generations, donkeys were everywhere in India. If you walk through rural roads, construction areas, or brick lanes, you would almost always see long lines of donkeys carrying bricks, sand, stones, or construction material. These animals were part of invisible workforce that quietly supported India's informal economy. They carried loads where vehicles could not go, moved materials across narrow lanes, and helped build houses, roads, and small towns. For thousands of families, especially among the traditional labor communities, owning a few donkeys was not just about livestock. It was their daily livelihood and survival. But today, that familiar sight is rapidly disappearing. According to the livestock census, India's donkey population has collapsed dramatically over the past decade. From around 3.3 lakh donkeys in 2012, the number dropped to nearly 1.2 lakhs today. That means more than half of country's donkeys have simply vanished in just 14 years. The reason behind this decline is actually very simple. India has been modernizing at a rapid pace. The brick lanes that once depended on animal labor now use machines and conveyor systems. Construction sites that increasingly rely on the mini trucks, tractors, and mechanical support system. Rural logistics have shifted to motor vehicles that are faster and cheaper in long run. Slowly and quietly, machines replace the role that donkeys once played. And when an animal is no longer economically useful, people naturally stop breeding it. Over the time, the numbers begin to fall. But this transition also had unintended consequences because for many labor communities working in brick lanes and construction sectors, donkeys were not just animals. They were working partners and economic assets. When that system disappeared, a part of their livelihood disappeared with it. This is where the government's new initiative enters the picture. To prevent the population from collapsing further, authorities have started encouraging the organizing donkey breeding and conservation. Under these initiatives, individuals, farmers, and organizations can receive financial assistance that may go up to 50 lakhs to establish the donkey farms, breeding centers, and conservation units. The idea is to create structured systems where donkeys can be bred, cared for, and maintained in a sustainable way. Officials believe that if organized breeding systems are introduced now, the donkey population can stabilize before it declines even further. The initiative also aims to protect the livelihoods of communities that still depend on these animals for work in certain industries. But there is another interesting angle to this story that many people do not know about. Around the world, donkey milk is becoming a high-value niche product. It is used in cosmetics, skincare products, and specialized nutrition because it contains nutrients that are considered beneficial for sensitive skin and digestion. In some countries, donkey milk sells at extremely higher prices compared to the regular milk. Several European countries have already built small industries around donkey milk farms and cosmetic products made from it. India is now beginning to explore similar opportunities, which means the humble donkey may actually find a new economic role in the modern economy. But if you step back and look at this entire story carefully, you realize that it is not really about donkeys at all. It's actually about how rapidly India is transforming. When economies modernize, older systems gradually fade away. Bullock carts disappear from the roads, traditional crafts decline as factories grow, and animals that once powered labor slowly vanish from the daily life. The decline of donkeys is simply a reflection of that larger shift. It's a small symbol of how India's economy is moving from manual labor systems toward the mechanization and modern infrastructure. So the next time you hear a headline saying India is offering 50 lakhs to raise the donkeys, it might sound funny or surprising at first. But behind the headline lies a deeper story about changing the livelihoods, disappearing traditions, and a country that is rapidly evolving. Because sometimes the most unexpected stories, like the story of disappearing donkeys, reveal the biggest truth about how a nation is changing. And if you enjoy discovering the deeper stories hidden behind every headlines, please subscribe.